Matt Drury, you're a family man. You've got a wife and kids, but you also operate as a 24/7 funeral director. How do you manage family life and being on call for other families all the time?
That's a huge, huge deal.
Right.
And I think just like yourself, I worked for others for the majority of my career.
Sure.
So that way, you had your days off, you had your time with your family that was dedicated.
Right.
Um, but even being on call, your family got used to, okay, well, you're on call tonight. You could go out at any time, or you may end up having to work late, or, it's very busy at the funeral home. So you're going to be there extended hours.
Right.
That kind of lifestyle built up to the point now where when we own our own funeral home, we're the person. We're 24/7. We're
Yeah.
at the other end of that phone all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So my kids are older, as yours are as well.
Yeah.
So the balance isn't as hard as if they were younger.
Sure.
So it still does take a toll. I mean, you can't plan on anything, and if you do, they're very loose plans.
Yeah, well, that's great you say that because my wife Leanne says that all the time that everything is kind of planned with an open hand. Like the plans are in my hand, but we could change them on a dime. And
Mhm.
yeah, not a lot of people want to live that way.
No, they don't. So, I mean, that brings us back to a previous conversation that we had, where it's a servant's heart,
Right.
where
Yep.
you need to be in this for the right reasons,
Sure.
and
Yeah.
want to help people through a very difficult time. So, uh, with being on the other end of that phone all the time, you need to also put some boundaries. And because my kids are older, I can hand off the phone to them. They know
Nice.
the questions to ask, they know, so I can have a bit of a break. I can go cut the lawn.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting when I can cut the lawn and not have to worry about a phone
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't hear the phone. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
How old are your kids?
23 and 17.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So they're in the mix. And I noticed from your website that they're in the mix. They're, like, as you just said, they take the phone, they know the stuff.
Yeah, my daughter, through the last year and a half, she was finishing up her university. She was doing a English major with a French minor. Just a little plug there.
Yeah.
And because things were done at a distance, because of the pandemic, she was able to come and be with me every day at the office, so that if
Great.
I was with the family, she could answer the phones, but she was also able to do her schoolwork online. So
Awesome. That's great.
she's taken the pre-arrangement course as well.
Oh,
Um,
cool. Cool.
hasn't written for her license yet, but that gives her some more information about how this business runs, and
Yeah.
what we need to do for each family.
Yeah. I
So,
hear you.
how about yourself?
Well, let's see, our three kids that are still with us at home, we've got a 13, a 16, and an 18. And the 13 and the 16 kind of do janitorial. The 16-year-old, he helps with the odd home transfer, whatnot. He's tall enough and strong enough now. And our 18-year-old daughter, she's on the road right now as I speak, off to the crematorium. So it's she's in Lambton College to be moving toward she wants to be a paramedic. So there's a lot of great collection there.
Yeah, it
That's what
kind of
she wants
meshes.
now. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Definitely, there's a lot of crossover there. But uh, our kids, like your kids, have only ever sort of known that this is what dad does.
Mhm.
When you visit dad at work, well, you know, your kids have probably seen more deceased people than adults that they know, and on and on and on. Not in an appropriate way, but
Absolutely.
where some
Yeah.
kids are like, what? It's so outside of most people's scope. But when it's normal, the kids have only ever sort of known that. But
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Same here. So yours and mine are truly family businesses,
yeah,
right?
yeah, and I love that. I love that. It's a very old world. Again, as I mentioned, I worked for a large corporation for 15 years, which again, they were great employers. They trained me well. Yeah, there's a very different feel, as
Mhm.
we're a small family owned and operated business, as you are. And we're more limber. If we want to
Yeah.
make a shift or I hate to say pivot, it's the new word. We want to pivot on a new marketing idea or a new approach or something like that. We just do it.
Yeah.
Whereas with a large company, like, there's going to be a meeting and it'll be tabled to next month. And then by the time, a great new idea is executed, it's already passed, it's over, kind of thing. So I saw that over and over again in a large company, but small family-based business, that seems to resonate, I find, with other local people that we serve. We just serve
Yeah.
other families. And yeah.
Yeah, and I find that people appreciate that we're approachable and we're the ones that I don't put myself up on a pedestal, but we're the ones that make the decisions. So if
Yeah.
a family is across the table from us making the arrangements, and there's something that is maybe outside the box or not the norm, then we can say it's okay. You can do that, and
Yeah.
we don't have to go through the hierarchy of,
Right.
you know,
We got to run it by the manager or something like that. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
which is powerful for sure.
Thanks for watching the video. Matt and I really enjoyed talking. And if you have any more questions, feel free to contact Matt or feel free to contact us anytime. All the best.